Welcome to Idle Talk.
Here.
Today, we got an episode on deck where we talk about the Oscars, the Grammys, and just the state of
Media
throughout this pandemic.
Yeah, and
Fernando.
afterwards, Valdez the Don.
So, what you want to talk about?
First of all, the Oscars had a very, very weak showing.
Yeah.
The record.
You watched it?
No.
Okay. Me neither.
The viewing, I saw in an article, and a lot of other people have, stated it, was less than 10 million people. Was less than 10 million people that viewed, and it was even less than 5 million people who viewed from beginning to end. Less than 5 million people who watched the Oscars from beginning to end.
What are your thoughts on that?
That is just showing how much people don't give a fuck about the Oscars anymore, because people don't give a fuck about these fake ass acceptance speech, these quote unquote critics only being able to vote on whether a movie is like influential or impactful. It's like this critic can't speak on the masses, and these critics haven't correctly spoken on behalf of the masses for majority of the time that they've like nominated and awarded actors and movies for best role or whatever. It's literally the Oscars.
You think it's losing its connection to the?
I think it's losing its value. Like an Oscar winner, cool, but like an Oscar winner nowadays is just like
You think whoever pays the most money for the award gets it?
Basically. And I also think it's like I don't watch a movie and think that's an Oscar winner. Like that's
how people used to think.
That's how people used to think. But like now, I'm just like, that's an
dope
actor.
ass movie.
I mean,
it's
like,
a good ass actor.
I don't think about are they an Oscar winner if there's an Oscar winner in the movie.
I think it has no value in today's world.
No value because, like you said, the internet can make someone blow up, and someone who
a Webby is more important than an Oscar.
Huh?
A Webby is more important than
It's
an
getting
Oscar.
up there. It's getting up
a
there.
Kids' Choice Award. Literally,
No.
Kids' Choice Award.
It's up there.
Feel more value. You get a cool Nickelodeon blimp. You get slimed, and then now like you have a younger audience on top of that.
That's gonna grow with you. That that's gonna like keep up with you over time. Is just an Oscar doesn't add value to a movie anymore, and it doesn't really add value to an actor. It only adds value to an actor within that small group, that small circle of producers. You think it adds
value to actors who've already received that award as opposed to actors who've never received it?
So can you explain what do you mean?
Like, let's say, like, I don't know who has an Oscar. Let's say DiCaprio. You think DiCaprio has an Oscar?
You see how bad that is if we don't even know?
Yeah. Okay, let's assume DiCaprio has...
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty
Oscar,
sure he
right?
does, but yeah.
Okay, so if he got another Oscar, be like, oh shit, another Oscar, right? I feel like people would care more about that than to be like, Juwan got his first Oscar. It is like, okay, and? Like, I feel like that's the reaction. Like, he got his first one. It's like, boo. He got his third Oscar. No way, he had 3 of them? That's crazy.
I feel like it's the opposite.
You think it's more valuable to new actors?
I feel like it's more valuable to new actors.
I feel like new actors don't give a shit about the Oscars.
I think new actors like receiving Oscars because then it validates them within that circle. It doesn't
like,
validate,
you're an actor now.
Yeah. It doesn't validate you to the masses. Like people who have already liked your acting and liked you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you have an Oscar or not. Like no one was like, I don't like Denzel because he's not that good. He doesn't have an Oscar yet. People liked him. You know?
Does he have an Oscar?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Why don't you just say him earlier when I was looking for an actor who had
because
one?
I didn't want to go like
just needed the dude.
Like it validates you within that circle. It's like it validates.
Do you think younger actors are now still seeking validation? I think that has changed with the necessity of the Oscars as well.
Yeah,
I think they're not seeking validation because they're getting the masses to validate them, and that's more important because they are like you said, they are. But I mean, they are the bosses because they are the consumers. They're the one who watches your movie. They're the one who decides to give you a like on Instagram, who decides to give you a follow on Instagram, or follow on whatever. They're the one that decides to do that. So I feel like that currency is more valuable than the acceptance of this inner circle.
I don't think the new actors are seeking validation from the circle. I think they're seeking validations from the masses, but that Oscar proves themselves within that circle, and that makes it better because.
Do you think you need the Oscar to prove yourself?
No, but I'm saying it gives you an in into that world where these big producers and directors are at. That's all I'm saying.
When you say big producers, directors, I think of the sick ones.
Yeah,
like
but they're
the Weinsteins of the world.
They're fleshing out.
Yeah, we're getting our Oh, you got an Oscar? Come here, boy. What's up? Do you want to go on my jet real quick?
You want to be a star role? They're getting fleshed out, so that whole thing is actually just it's draining the swamp.
So with that article you read about the viewership, is that the lowest recorded since when? Did they say since when or like of
last year? Because of all time, but the last year was 15 million.
You know what's crazy? The Super Bowl this year had 96 million viewers. Had 96 million viewers, but that was the lowest since 2007. So it's not that long ago.
Oh, okay.
That was when the Bears and the Colts played, but like nobody wanted to watch that.
Then it spiked up again.
Yeah. But 96 million viewers is the NFL's lowest since 2007.
Yeah.
Not of all time.
Yeah.
So you would think about how people view things, because Super Bowl viewership is dying, I think.
Yeah.
I think people just don't care no more.
Yeah.
Like that much. I feel like the 96 million people who did watch it, half of them were betting on the game.
Yeah.
And the other half were fans of either team.
Yeah.
So that's what I think as sport betting increases, that's what's going to eat up the viewership. It's because people want to see what their investments are, well, quote unquote investments are. Well, they should be risks, how the risks are doing.
Yeah.
But I think that it tells a bigger tale of like television in general. Like, people aren't watching television no more.
I think it also tells a bigger picture of our economic state. Okay. Because when people are doing fine in a financial state, they consume more.
Yeah, because they're not there grinding.
They're not there worried about things of that nature. So the year before that, where people were in a better financial state, they could take that lax moment. They could take the extra investment of, you know what, let's do a football party. Let's do this and that. And it's just the economic state is like people are not really worried about who's going to win and more worried about where that check is going to come from. And also it's just like with movies, with the pandemic, when you get that small glimpse in that period, that year, of that, I don't need that distraction from sports, movies, and all that things. I could just have my life and do what I need to do. Yeah. A lot of people got that brief moment and realized that's really what all I wanted was just to improve my life. I didn't need to constantly distract myself from my situation. Oh. Like now, instead of people being distracted and watching other people live out their lives, they're actually taking the steps to live out their own lives. Like there's a whole new wave of people like, you know what, I took up gardening.
I would like to see the correlation research. I would like to see the down spike pre-pandemic of entertainment and stuff, and see a scientific table of the increase in personal hobbies. Yeah. I would like to see how that looks.
Because I certainly increased in my personal hobbies during that time. And I think the people that I'm speaking to also have increased in their personal hobbies or pursue their dreams and things of that nature.
That's interesting. Interesting thought. I'll give you a shit about the Oscars.
Yeah, me either. Now, speaking about that award show, Grammys.
Give a shit about the Grammys.
Who gives a fuck about the Grammys?
Who made that song about the Grammys? It was Drake's song when he talks about the Grammys.
I feel like a lot of people made a song.
Yeah, I feel like no one's doing that no more. No one's like,
because no one gives. No one gives a fuck. Is that old?
When was the last time you heard Henny in a song?
Henny, like Hennessy?
Yeah.
A minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been like all these big like entities that used to be. People used to want to like.
It's a change.
Yeah, it's gone now.
It's a change. It's literally a change in generational wealth, where now these huge companies that used to have influence in pop culture are dying out because we don't have to funnel ourselves through your market. Like you had to go through the Grammys when there was no internet. To become something large. Like, oh, they won a Grammy, they must be a good like musician. Yeah. But now you have Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, you can get your fan base and your masses behind you without having those entities proving your skills.
I think they go hand in hand.
I
think the same entity that is the Grammys is the same entity that is Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like if you were to do it truly on your own, you would release music yourself. I mean, with the power of the internet, which is, let's not say the internet is not on either side. The internet plays both sides. Mm-hmm. If this was a war, the internet is an arms dealer and it's dealing to whoever has money.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what side you're on, it's dealing to whoever. So I feel like the internet plays both sides. So I feel like if you were to really do it on your own, it would be you and the internet, and then that's how you build.
So you're thinking if someone releases their music on Spotify, they're still going through this?
They're still doing the old ways, I would say.
Really?
When you would, I think that the guard hasn't changed. There hasn't been a change of guard yet. I think it's still a lot of like old people thinking like how XXL used to be a big deal, like magazines wise. Like, oh, you got your CD reviewed by XXL. Yo, that shit's about to sell week 1, about to do numbers. Like, yeah, how that used to be important. How I think that's the same stride as the Grammys, how they used to be important too. Then I feel like the Grammys have been around for so long, they just don't want to stop. They can't stop. Like now we were seen as the end all, be all before, and now people aren't seeing us that way. But we've been around for so long, like we don't want to stop because it's like, whoa, the Grammy stopped. I feel like people will notice it, and that'll look bad for them. Yeah, I feel like if they continue, it's not going to work out for them. If they stop, it's not going to work out for them. So I feel like they're stuck in. The Grammys itself are stuck in that way. Yeah, where it's like not that many people care about us, but a whole lot of people are gonna clown us if we stop. Yeah, and that social capital is important to them. So I feel like labels are in that same realm, like having a music label. Like you could be independent or signed to a label, and then that's when you deal with the Taylor Swifts of the world, where you're locked up on your masters. Therefore, you have to
locked up.
Won't let her out. Yeah. and so you have to re-release old songs kind of as new songs, but kind of similar to how it used to be, and that's how you get trapped. That's an old record labels. I feel like an old age of thinking. Yeah. So I think playing all those pieces together we're still kind of in that. Truly, we're still in the old age of doing things.
I feel like there are multiple pieces to the music industry, right? Yeah. But Grammys used to be the king.
You wanted a Grammy.
You wanted the
Grammy, but I feel like now people are like, I don't need the Grammy.
The
Grammy needs me. Yeah. If they want viewers, they're getting Bad Bunny to perform. Yes. They're giving him a Grammy for whatever, even if he deserves it or not.
For being Spanish.
Yeah.
Like, award for being Spanish.
For best Puerto Rican superstar goes to Bad Bunny.
You see like Pitbull like...
But you see what I'm saying? The Grammys now need the artists to stay relevant.
But everything has turned its head from the old man with the money. Now,
old man's paying.
Exactly. Like, all right, let's think about it like the NBA, right? Before, the players had no say of their life. Like the NBA said, you have to wear in a suit. Yeah. You can't have tattoos. Nope. You can't go to the parties. Nope. And then the players like, we're bringing the audience. Yeah. Like, we're bringing the crowd. You as the owner or you as the investor don't do anything. You're not on the court. And they were like, you either have to give us our liberties, our rights, and good pay. Yeah. For us to continuously bring in this crowd. And the same thing is happening to actors and musicians, that they're like, yo, it is us that is bringing in that money. So we don't care about you because the money's coming from them, essentially. Yeah. And we're just cutting you out slowly but surely. And everyone's seeing that the old king is not really the king. Is the true piece is the queen that can move around. That's really bringing that fire.
Man, really just drop some chess shit.
Yeah, bring the chess into this. And I feel like the game is changing and is becoming more of an independent. I don't think anybody's gonna go completely independent with no Spotify, just like just dropping their own music. Yeah. I don't think anybody's gonna drop that big until a little bit further on. I feel like there's going to be somebody who is going to pioneer that route and go.
Or Bad Bunny, if you really wanted to, be like, buy my music at badbunny.com.
I mean, he could definitely try.
People will.
I mean,
people would.
People said the same thing about Kanye.
Did Kanye do that?
Kanye tried. Jay-Z
I don't know. See, that's what I remember we talked about that in our music episode. where I was like, I feel like it needs to be all three of them: Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kanye.
But I'm saying,
to
like,
do that.
They were really big.
They could have pioneered it back then together. But now you're saying it's going to be like eventually somebody's going to pioneer it. And I feel like now, moving forward, it definitely could be one person to do it, not necessarily.
You think that one person could be Bad Bunny? You think that he's that big? You think he's that big?
If he tried right now, I feel like he has his tour in 2022. I feel like if at the end of the tour he announced, buy my exclusive album on my website.
Because he wouldn't say it in English. Go ahead.
Buy my exclusive album, only available at badbunny.com. Comes with merch. Go buy it. I feel like he could.
Ahora.
Baby.
I don't think he's big enough, honestly.
What? This is the year of Bad Bunny.
I don't think he's big enough.
This is the year of Bad Bunny.
I think his fans like him, but I don't think his fans will go, I'm gonna get off and get his music.
He's not saying get off of the other platforms. He's saying you can only get this album here.
Exactly. I'm saying, I
feel like that's all it takes, and then somebody else is gonna be like, okay, you can buy my exclusive album off my website. Like NFTs. You heard NFTs?
No.
They're the new rage in like the crypto world, where it's like art pieces that have value, right? But literally anybody, you buy the one, but like literally anybody could copy it from you. Yeah, because there's a quantity of one, quotation marks, but it's an internet thing. You can just easily take it, like copy it, right? So like, let's say I know some Australians YouTubers sold an NFT of their feet. It's just like 6 feet, like there, and it's sold for, I don't know for how much it sold. I forgot the number, but it's a ridiculous amount. But then they posted on Instagram. They're like, hey, look at our NFT. It's like,
you just lost all the value.
No, you don't, because you own the original one.
Oh.
But you can see it anywhere else. Like it's like digital art.
So wait,
it's confusing as fuck. Yes, it is.
Because how does it?
But the only reason why I bring it up is because I feel like it's gonna be a wave, the releasing music on your own. But I feel like it'll be a wave, but then it'll stay. Like it won't be like, I feel like NFTs are gone within like 8 months from now. You can quote me on that. Even if it's a hot or cold take, I don't care. I feel like they're gone in 8 months and no one's gonna give a shit about them anymore. But I feel like if Bad Bunny at the end of his 2022 tour said, buy my exclusive album only on my website, and you might get a t-shirt with it, who cares really? You pick and choose.
I love that agreement. You might get a t-shirt. Who cares?
And I feel like that, boom, okay, Bad Bunny's doing that. That's looking good for him. Let me try. Yeah. Let me as Beyonce try. Let me as Ariana Grande try. Yeah. As Ash Nico, let me try. Like all these, like, I feel like medium to high tier artists are going to be like, fuck it, let me try.
Yeah.
Let me do it. Even the one SoundCloud rapper down the street, fuck it, let me try. Like, yeah. I feel like then it doesn't become a one-off thing. Then it's like, okay, this is working. So on many levels, low to high. It's working for the Bad Bunnies of the world. It's working for the Beyoncés of the world. It's working for your average SoundCloud rapper down the block.
You put Beyonce above Bad Bunny, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
For now. I feel like Beyonce's at the end
of her career.
Yeah, and Bad Bunny's approaching the climax.
Okay, gotcha. She had an amazing career.
Which even at the end of it right now, she hasn't really done anything except the album she put out because she was on The Lion King, like the Disney track. That was fucking fire too. Like,
yeah, it's a good album.
It was all good. Like,
and her features is ridiculous.
Yeah, she doesn't miss.
She doesn't miss in the heat of fire.
Yeah, it doesn't miss.
Now talking about how that transition of control is going from corporations to individual artists.
I don't think it's going to individual artists. I think it's going to individual artists / fans. Okay. Like now, like people are feeling so connected to the artist that because it'll get so intertwined.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like that connection should just be severed, like it should be artists, fans, like separate, because then that creates a unrealistic relationship.
Yeah.
Within the fans and the artists, because the artist could have a bad day, and somebody could say, "Oh my God, hi Bad Bunny, I know you so much, like I love you," and it's like, "Yeah, man, yo, get the fuck away from me, like I'm just trying to go to the gym, I'm trying to vibe over here, like can you just like leave me alone?" And then boom, all of a sudden that fan is devastated because they didn't create that separation. They had a different idea in their brain on how that relationship is, when it's not. Like they're not your friend. You are somebody
they don't even know.
Yeah, they don't even know. You admire them. They don't admire you.
Yeah.
It'll be unrealistic to believe that your favorite artist loves you.
Yeah.
Even though they say, "I love all my fans."
Lies.
It's impossible.
I love all the money.
Yeah, that's what it really should be. Yeah. I love your money.
Yeah.
But that doesn't sell well as opposed to "I love my fans."
Yeah. I think OnlyFans should change their narrative from being a sex thing to actually getting some artists to do exclusive content on OnlyFans. Like Patreon.
Yeah. Which I saw a meme about that.
What do you mean?
It's like, imagine like being like a graffiti artist or like any kind of artist and just be like, "Yo, follow my OnlyFans," and it's art. It's like, just imagine it's art. Like some guy looked offended, like, "Where's the porn?"
When we're speaking about media, we speak on media.
Yeah.
How has movies in theaters been impacted by the pandemic while in your life?
Well, your experience? Used to frequently go to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic. I saw 60 movies in 2020.
Okay.
Before a pandemic. When did the pandemic start? Like April?
When people started dying, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't remember. Let's say April.
Mm-hmm.
So from January to April, how many months is that? 4 months.
There you go.
So that means 2 of those months I went to see movies. that had to mean that 60 out of those like 120 days I went to see a movie every day.
Dang.
Yeah. So I was in there. I was watching, because the Alamo Drafthouse, they show older movies too. Like it's not just straight new releases.
Yeah.
I think it's a great model, a great business model. Like, yeah, we have new releases, but do you want to watch, let's say, The Terminator?
Yeah.
Niche audience is going to go. They only need one theater because only one theater's worth of people are going to go.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch The Shining? Niche audience, niche theater. Only one theater of people are going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll play it throughout the week, right? But
it's not taking up their whole market.
It's not. Exactly. And like they'll have the new Star Wars there the day of. They'll have it for whatever amount of months it circulates. But if you can't get tickets to Star Wars, you can see
Terminator.
That so happens to be played on the smaller theater, but it's still there. There's options available. Like it's not always new movies.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of new movies that used to come out every week, and then they wouldn't be as good as some of the bigger ones with the bigger budgets and the bigger marketing departments, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you've effectively get rid of the okay ones, and then you put in something you already know people are gonna like.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a great business model. It's like, okay, that movie might be okay, may not work well for us, but let's play Terminator that week. Let's pay for Terminator again. Let's play for Rambo. Like, let's play for. They had a Valentine's Day thing where it was like, it was called Galentine's Day, and they played Mean Girls. They played a bunch of other like kind of like female based games,
yeah.
fucking movies, and it's like, okay, cool. I feel like that's an excellent way to like run a movie theater, which is an older like business
model.
Yeah, because theaters have been around for so long. Back when tickets were $1, like back when they were more like plays and musicals as opposed to now all being separated, like like cinema separated from theater art, separated from music. Like
yeah,
it used to be like intertwined basically. Like they would all work at the same spot. So theaters have been closed for basically the entire pandemic. They're now opening up again. A lot of theaters have kind of like panicked in that way. Remember we heard AMC was going to close.
Oh, they haven't?
I don't know what happened, because the GameStop news.
Yeah,
like that people bought all the stocks because they were like, nah, let's get rid of GameStop. Like, let's close them forever. Let's sell off our shit. And they're like, nope, let's buy all this. I feel like AMC went through the same thing. So I don't know how they're doing off of that like trend of buying their stocks, but they were like, yo, we might have to close like a shit ton of stores. Like we're not financially stable in that way. And it's interesting to hear movie theater companies say that, like bigger ones, like that have multiple locations in multiple cities, like like franchises. Is then what were you doing with the money you were charging us anyway?
Yeah.
What were you doing with the fee that you were charging us? The ticket fee, like where did that go? What were you doing with the insane popcorn prices? Yeah. $10 for popcorn. What were you doing with that money?
Yeah.
Like what happened there? The $6 sodas, the $8 water bottles,
straight in their pockets.
Yeah, like what were you doing with the $20 box of Skittles? Like what were you doing with all? Like that's obviously an exaggeration, but like still, like what were you doing with that 1,000% up mark?
Yeah.
How are you not able to handle a pandemic, even if it was supposed to last maybe like a month or two? Like we still didn't know when the pandemic was gonna be over, and it's still ongoing, and it's like. What if that would have lasted a month? You would have to close all your stores. Like, are you serious? 2 months? After 2 months, you'd be like, nah, we're done. We got to close all our stores. Like, it's ridiculous to, like, the money management of, like, you're upcharging things you could get outside the theater for way less.
Yeah.
And so what is that extra profit going to? What was it going to? It's those things where it's like, You want the smaller theaters to survive because some places need them.
Yeah.
Like they're a niche thing.
They need that LLP.
Yeah. And I know a lot of small theaters, they pivoted from changing their theaters into like conference rooms kind of deals. Like they had game nights. They would play games on the big movie theater screens and like kind of like an arcade kind of style when it was safe. Like that's how they used to do their things because they had the freedom to. But now like like big franchises are like, it's better that we close, waste no electricity, not even risk it, as opposed to maybe let's take a chance and try to see what else we can make money on. Yeah. And so like when big theaters like that close down, you don't feel bad. You're like, whatever.
It's whatever.
But when it's a small theater in a small town, you're like, oh no, because you know that guy. You know the guy who owns it. It's been in his family for 3 generations.
He's been giving you free popcorn for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Because you get those kind of relationships down packed. Those are more impactful to lose. And small theaters are still important to the movie industry. Yeah. Because there may not be an AMC in the middle of fucking Kentucky, but there is a mom and pop movie theater that is still willing to pay your prices, the same franchise prices, to show your movie. Yeah. And without that Kentucky audience, how much are you really making off that movie? Like it's kind of like politicians. Yeah. You want the big states, but then you gotta fucking work real hard for the small ones. Just because they're small doesn't mean they lack value.
Yeah, because you gotta actually make relations with the individuals.
Yeah, and that's how you build a connection with the smaller ones. Because anybody can have a theater in New York, right? It's New York. There's real estate everywhere. Like you can put a theater, a franchise theater anywhere. But what about as a movie producing company like Sony's of the world, like things like that? It's like, all right, now we definitely want our movie in the middle of America. We'll definitely charge you lower because you're smaller, like a smaller theater, but you're definitely as important as the big AMCs of the world. And so I feel like the losers of this pandemic is definitely the bigger movie theater companies that have multiple locations everywhere. But I feel like the winners are really the people who consume their movies through these smaller movie theaters, because I feel like, sure, many of them probably could have closed or probably have closed, but there's still a couple kicking around that people love to see. And I think it's the mix of, we are passionate about watching movies. We love our small business in our town, which is this small theater, and we support each other through this, as opposed to like the maybe like 10 theaters that are in New York City alone. They're like, I don't give a shit about this one. There's one on 9th. Like, there's one over there. There's one over there. Like, I could go to that one. I don't give a shit if this one closed, because there's an influx of them.
Did you go to small mom and pops?
When I did my road trip, I did.
How was the?
I went to a drive-in.
Yeah.
And you have to change the radio station to hear the movie. And I remember I was watching the wrong movie for like 10 minutes. I was like, yo, these birds aren't saying what they're saying. And then I switched it to the right channel. But it is a different feel. It's like you feel good. Like I just felt good there. I was like, man,
welcome.
I didn't mind paying the upscale prices. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I'll pay $10 for this. I don't care. It felt like it was going to the right place.
Yeah.
As opposed to AMC, I'm paying $10 for popcorn, and then they were like, yo, we have to close like 60% of our locations because we don't have enough money. Like when you kind of you see that scale where it's like if you were spending the $10 at a small theater, they're like, thank God you were spending $10, so now we could pay rent for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like we're like the money management is better. I feel like, and it's divided good. Because it's like you're only worrying about one shop, and also like they are charging you heavy prices, but like they didn't close down.
Yeah,
it's like
it's going where it's needed.
It's like, hey, we had the money you gave us, and so we're fine. But like these bigger theaters are like, we had the money you gave us, so we spent it, and now we're fucked.
That's ridiculous. What movies have you seen recently?
I watched Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters.
What are your thoughts?
It was a fucking amazing movie.
Amazing?
Like, yeah.
I heard like people didn't like it.
Like, what the fuck are you watching Godzilla vs. Kong for? The story? You fucking idiot. Bro, the story was whack. I was like, bro, did you not see them fucking fight? Like, was you not... Yo, Kong was getting washed in the ocean? Bro, that wasn't entertaining to you? Yeah. That wasn't good enough for you?
I haven't seen that. I gotta watch
it's on HBO Max. You have like literally... Oh, no, it's gone. It's May.
No, it's
gone. It was only there for April.
Oh, yeah. But you see, that's a crazy thing that's happening now.
Yeah,
that movies are being released in theaters and on like
HBO Max.
No,
that's it.
No, but I'm saying there's other movies that are exclusive come out for Amazon while they're in theaters, and I'm pretty sure Netflix is gonna also
all the good ones. All the good ones are
HBO Max. Yeah. I think that's a good
interesting
turn in the market where now producers or what are they called? Production companies are like, you know what, we can also make money by giving our rights for an exclusive amount of time on these streaming services and get a lot of eyes on our movies.
Disney tried to do that on Disney Plus. Remember when they were like, watch Mulan for $30?
It's like I'm already paying a monthly subscription. Yeah. Like HBO would have been like, yo, watch Godzilla.
I think that was in the plans, and they were like, oh, Disney fucked up. Let's not do that.
Yeah. They're like, oh, Disney can't do it? No.
They can't get away with it? Shit.
Yeah. Like, and I'm pretty sure if Disney was to do that for a Star Wars movie, too, I don't think they would do that. I don't think it would do that well.
Nah, I think they would lose.
Yeah. It's like, I'm already paying a subscription. If I already had Disney Plus for a year, which a lot of people have, that's way more than $30.
Yeah.
Come on. Let me get this movie for free.
Bro, it's funny.
Not even free. I'm paying for it, essentially.
I remember seeing a meme and it was like, bro, you got me to pay for the year and you want me to pay more money? Did you not forget I used to pirate your shit? Like, it's like, don't forget where people came from. Like, people would like steal. What the fuck?
Yeah, keep going.
People would basically steal your movie by watching for free. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's interesting how theatrical releases, then 2 weeks later, DVD, and then maybe a month after that, streaming platforms, and like they used to be the old way. And I feel like
DVDs are out of the picture.
No, I feel like DVDs are still fucking valuable.
What?
Because I feel like many people, many places, and I say this because I've had interactions with people. My sister loves DVDs, right? And I'm like, why do you get DVDs? She's like, I want to just watch whatever I want whenever I feel like it. I'm like, I don't want to worry if it's on Netflix or if it's on HBO, if it's on Hulu, if it's on Amazon. Like, it's just like a convenience thing. But there's a lot of people I met. I saw posts like who still buys DVDs, and it's like one guy was like, I buy DVDs because what if all of a sudden the internet crashes tomorrow?
I mean,
I can't see what the fuck I want to see.
He's probably a flat earther.
No, a lot of people I think just worried that, like, why would I pay for HBO Max when Godzilla vs. Kong is leaving tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like, but if I'm paying for this service, I want to have the liberty to watch my favorite movie whenever I want.
But I mean, you're not essentially paying HBO Max for Godzilla. You're paying HBO Max for all the other things that they make exclusively on HBO.
No one is paying for HBO Max for the exclusive stuff. People are paying HBO Max. The same people, the same reason why people are paying for Disney Plus. It's like, I want this new Marvel shit. I want this new Star Wars shit. Like, I want that, right? And people are paying for HBO Max. So like, I just want to see the movie theater movies. Like, that's all I care about.
I guess I'm different.
You like the HBO Max original series? Have you watched the HBO Max original series?
Yeah, HBO.
Which one?
HBO original series.
Yeah, and it says
True Blood.
It's planted right on there.
Yeah,
True Blood. But True Blood is not an HBO Max original.
Well,
it's like saying I'm watching the exclusive Law and Order shit on HBO Max. It's like, no, man, Law and Order existed way before HBO Max.
What's the HBO Max exclusive? But I purchased.
You don't know. That's why. You don't know.
I purchased the HBO, not even purchased. I got the HBO. I got the HBO because I like the content that there's in there, and it's also added.
You like the content that's limited for limited time, bro.
Let's talk about
like Friends is an exclusive, but Friends has been it's a whore. It hopped from Netflix to that. Like,
I have this dilemma with Friends because I saw this video where it's like saying that Friends poached the idea from another sitcom.
Oh, really?
That was released a year later, but
they just did it better, bro.
Yeah, it's like,
Friends just built different. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, now we're talking about streaming services. I really want to talk about Amazon is doing their shit. Okay. Amazon Prime, I feel like they're really doing their shit. Just like how you say it's a really good model for AMC to do the little small shows. Amazon is purchasing franchises and building them up to compete with Disney, Marvel, and HBO. Because HBO has DC and Amazon is purchasing Image Comics. That's the Invincible that they have right now. That's Boys. That's Spawn. That's
People
Dark.
Care about the Boys?
People care about the Boys.
You think so?
I think.
You think it's like there's more to come, or that
there's more to come? Because
I don't give a shit about the Boys.
Image Comics.
Not as much as I care about.
It's a whole universe that hasn't been fleshed out in the big screen. Mm-hmm. So they have
like what?
I just told you Spawn.
Yeah.
Spawn is
the only one that I've heard of on a grander level.
Okay, but I'm saying like
that, like on like a level like Spider-Man, Batman, like Iron Man, like
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's Image Comics. I was about to ask you like, where the fuck is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from? I was literally about to ask you because I was like, is that a different part? Like, is that somebody else?
That's
like
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I feel like
that's a big one.
That's not a good one to do. It hasn't done well in live action. Maybe an animated series Invincible.
If Amazon keeps going down the route that
they're going to, they're
going
sure.
good.
But I feel like Ninja Turtles is last on the list.
Yeah, last on the list because that's a heavy hitter. It's like a Justice League for the.
Not even. It's because how fucking they shitted on the live action version of it.
Yeah,
they were like, let's let people forget about it for a little bit.
Again, I don't think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a live action type of thing. I think it's an animated one.
Okay.
There's also Darkness. There's Invincible, which is going to be, where they're building it up to be like almost like a DC Universe Marvels type of hard hitters.
So there's gonna be different shows in the same universe being produced.
Yeah, because they have Hercules, they have Bricks, they have Guardians of the Globe, they have a bunch of other hard hitters.
Guardians of the Globe sounds like a Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff.
Image basically was the third party to DC and Marvel, which was making fun of the tropes that DC and Marvel were doing. It's like, so Invincible is making fun of the trope that Superman doesn't kill people even though he smashes people through buildings.
Yeah.
And whenever they do that Invincible, whether in the comics or the show, they're like, yo, there's huge amount of people who are dying when those buildings collapse because no one could be alarmed. Like, you have to evacuate that quickly when Superman is fighting somebody.
Yeah.
So they're like making fun of those tropes, and Boys does that too, where they like, superheroes are not gonna be like good guys all the time. Yeah. They are going to be money hungry. They're going to be like starstruck. So Amazon is building these franchise, and not only Image Comics, but they're also going into Tom Clancy's to compete with 007, the James Bond franchise, the Mission Impossible franchise. They are building this universe so that they So they think
the Amazon Prime verse.
Yes.
Versus the HBO Max verse.
Yeah, which is DC and then
Disney.
Marvel with Disney. And I think that's just a smart move. Instead of trying to go, let's just buy DC a little. They're like, nah, let's build this universe that's really good. Yeah. That's in this niche market where people want adult like superhero like stuff, just like with Star Wars with the adult mature nature.
Yeah.
They're just going to build that up, and I just want to applaud Amazon on that because they're doing a smart move.
Shout out to Amazon. You do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong, Amazon. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jeff Bezos.
I forgot who he was.
The king of Amazon. Amazon does nothing wrong.
That was pretty my highlight. That was my heart. That was like my heart.
Proud of Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Have you watched any movies lately?
No.
I
haven't watched any movies lately. I've been watching shows that have
like movie
production level. 000, amazing
That's
show.
On Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. You also have Them. That's on Amazon. Amazing show. Oh, the last movie that I've seen is what's the name? Dang, I forgot the name, but it's with they're portraying the meeting between Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, and
damn, I don't even know what that is, but that sounds like a serious movie.
It's really good. And I forgot the other two guys.
That just goes to show your different movie taste. The last movie I saw before that was Mortal Kombat, which apparently a lot of people didn't like the main character because it's a new character. I didn't really mind it. What?
I'm not saying it. I'm just smiling.
You just look at me, bro. Look at me like I'm some kind of snob.
No, I'm just smiling. Go ahead.
So, I mean, I liked it. The story was pretty okay. I have this gift of kind of like guessing where the movies could go, and I kind of did that in the movie theater. I was with Christian and my sister. I was like, "Yo, I bet you this happens," and then it immediately happened afterward. And I was like, "Oh, nice,
it's a blessing."
Yeah, and I did it with the plot of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Also figured out that the director of that movie, Tarantino, has a foot fetish. I was like, I bet you this guy has a foot fetish because why is the feet so like in front of your face? Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, he actually does. I was like, no way, really? So that was interesting to learn, like while watching that movie.
I recently watched the movie Two Distant Strangers. It's been given whatever award. Me personally, like you made a hot take not too long ago. I didn't like the movie. It was just Joey Badass. There wasn't any good acting.
Okay.
The police officer, there wasn't any good. It was a good plot.
It was good on paper, but it just didn't execute.
Yeah, for me, I was just like, yeah, that's it. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it yet.
Sorry, I don't mean to influence your opinion.
No. But I don't know. I saw the snippet on TikTok. It was like going in a circle, and I was like, "Oh, that looks cool."
Yeah.
The 60 seconds that I watched it though, I don't know how. I didn't know how it would translate on the big screen. Yeah.
Jinx.
We were watching the Scream, MTV series.
Yeah.
And Harvey Weinstein's name pops up. And I remember pointing out to you, I was like, yo, that's why there hasn't been a reboot for Scream.
Oh,
for
yeah,
a long time. Because he owns it.
it.
I think there's a reboot coming in 2022, finally. But, yeah, I love the Scream movies because they make fun of slasher movies while being a slasher movie. And I like how they do that. I feel like it was one of the pioneers in making fun of yourself. And
being meta.
Yeah. And so I can really appreciate that. It's like one of the characters from the first movie is explaining how you could survive in a horror movie while being in a horror movie, while doing those things he said
not to do.
No, that you should do. He's doing those things and he lives until the second movie. And it's hilarious. It's like, yo, man, that guy really set the rules to explain to the audience what's gonna happen, but then followed it in the movie himself and made it to the second movie. So I think that's pretty cool.
That's dope.
I'm excited for the new one.
I'm excited too.
Have you seen the first three?
Yes, but it's not like ingrained in my mind. It's just like, yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, those are sick. Apparently, there's a fourth one. There's a Scream 4. that's not on HBO Max. So I was like, what the fuck, bro? Why don't you just put it on HBO Max?
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna probably buy that just to watch it, because I'm on the same boat as my sister, except I don't have DVDs. I just buy movies I like, like on like Amazon Prime, like on the app. I just be like, all right, purchase. Like I saw Spiraling. It was Jigsaw. Jigsaw is the like the reboot of Saw. So I bought that movie, and so I could watch it with my sister. And I was like, oh, this was a pretty good movie. Like I liked it, but probably because I just finished seeing the first 7, and I was like, "Oh, this all makes sense. It's all fresh in my mind." But I can't see myself enjoying it if I hadn't watched Saw for like the 7 or 8 years that it took to make that one. I couldn't see myself enjoying it like that.
I get you.
Yeah,
it's just like when I'm watching a series and I watch the first 7 seasons, and then a year passes by and I watch season 8. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I felt that way with The Walking Dead. A lot of people were like, oh god, the break from 4 to 5 sucked ass, or 6 to 7 sucked ass. And I was like, I remember sitting there watching like all 8 seasons at the time in a row, and I was like, oh shit, this is all cool, because I didn't have to wait like the 9 months that it took to produce another season,
and then let it all drain out of your head, because you're not gonna really keep all that information.
No, I was remembering season 1 details in season 4, and I was like, oh shit, they went back to season 1 for this shit. Like, oh fuck, like shit like that. So I think I have a different, like, the way I consume media is different too, because I would wait like years before I watch something.
Yeah, I know. You still haven't even watched Wanda.
No, I haven't. Yeah. I've only watched the episodes I watched with you and your cousin.
You're gonna watch Wanda when they make a new Marvel movie.
Yeah, I'm like, shit needs to make sense. That was this week's episode of Out of Talk. We talked a lot about music, TV, movie, and everything in between. I'm Fernando.
Valdez is Don. Keep doing your shit, Amazon. Keep doing your shit.
I'll see you next week. Peace.
Deuces.